You are now listening to the most electrified and vilified podcast on the net, Hot Topix Podcast. Let's get this party started. Welcome everyone to our latest episode of Hot Topix Podcast. I'm Psycho 4081 and I'm here with Lamb Chop.
Lamb Chop, hi.
And it's been a long time.
Yes.
I know you missed me.
Yeah. I missed you, Felonious.
She, as we reported earlier, she escaped custody.
Yeah, and I'm back now. Yes.
You are so special. so special.
I let them know that they captured you and you failed the question they asked you. They asked you who wrote the Star Spangled Banner.
Oh, and I did not know.
And you said Martin Luther King.
Oh, and I
hate
don't
you
even
so
know.
much.
And we're here with you're going to be a special co-host now, Donna Marie.
Oh, that's so awesome. Thank you.
Hi, Donna. Thank you for joining us.
Hey, y'all. I feel so special.
Special is not a word we like to use.
She's good special. Good special. Not psycho special.
I'm special.
So in this episode, we actually wanted to talk about some things.
Finish up. We do part two of the mental health.
Mm-hmm. It's not going to be a long topic on that because we have some other things we want to talk about as well. And when we left, we talked about your personal journey, dealing with taking care of your mental health, and
the steps that she took to get
you took. Okay, but we left out some things. Actually, we covered a lot.
We did. It was a really good show, and thank you again.
Yeah,
for sharing that.
Oh, I know what it was. We also wanted to talk about your we call it your organic recipes or your things that you put together.
Her entrepreneurship.
Yeah, her pharmaceuticals.
Okay, all right. Her pharmaceuticals.
Pharmaceuticals, right? Which is interesting how that works out. Farm and pharmacy. Mm-hmm. Did you ever heard of a word called apothecary?
Apothecary?
Yeah.
Yes. That's like a drugstore.
Yeah, I learned that because we have one around the corner. Good food, vegan food, whatever. But I was like, what the hell is that? but it's an old term.
Yes.
Like in the medieval times or probably earlier. And that's what, like you said, it was a pharmacy. Mm-hmm. Did you know that, Felonious?
A drugstore, kind of.
No.
She's like, no.
Let me get my word out. Olodo.
Whatever.
Okay.
So yeah, we want to talk about that and some of the things, unhealthy coping mechanisms. We talked about that. Recognize behaviors. We talked about that too. Mm-hmm. Changing unhealthy behaviors. This is what it was. Managing stress and anxiety.
Yes.
Which is the most difficult in my opinion. Mm-hmm. Only because I know firsthand. I'm very poor at it. Managing my stress and anxiety that, I reluctantly had to reach out for help.
Why was it reluctantly?
Because of the stigma of having, one, I don't like taking drugs, period.
Okay.
And then as a
Say
man.
that again. I wasn't listening. Can you come?
I said I don't like taking drugs.
No, before that. What
What?
did you say that led to that?
Reluctantly?
Did what?
Reached out for help?
What kind of... Wow.
Well, so the thing was, as a man, we always want to, we have that thing that we say we can handle it. We don't need counseling. We don't need therapy. We don't need anybody but us, and sometimes you have to swallow your pride or your ego and, realize that you can't solve everything, Well,
that keeps a lot of people sick.
Yeah. I'm gonna tell you the funny part about it. This is how I realized. No, actually, let me roll that back. I didn't reach out for help. I just realized that I never did reach out for help. You know what it was? It was tricked. I was tricked. Let me tell you why. All right, so when I started having these issues, I didn't feel like I was going through anything or whatever, but I kept saying, I just felt funny inside. Something doesn't feel right inside, like my body.
Like physically?
Physically.
Okay.
Right? I couldn't describe it. It wasn't like a physical pain, but it was something. I couldn't sleep, whatever, right? And then somebody mentioned, like, you should get some, I think what she called happy pills.
Okay.
I ain't taking no happy pills, right? So, but at the time, I also had the back injury.
Okay.
So I had the, really, really bad back pain. So when I went to the doctor, she said, the first time they gave me gabapentin.
Okay.
That did absolutely nothing. And then when my doctor's great, and she says, she's talking to you, and she asks you all types of questions. And I was like, I'm just angry all the time. I was telling her certain things like that. And I do open up to my doctor. I tell him everything, whatever. I don't care. And then she says, okay, we're going to try this medication. This may work on your back, and it'll help with your anxiety.
Okay.
So that's how I got the
diagnosis of
the medicine for that. And, she said, well, yeah, you have anxiety and, this and that, whatever. So I took that. And when I took it, I was like, whoa, this works.
You had the happy pills.
Yeah. This was like, it just automatically made me feel like
lighter
a different person. Yes. Because I would go home. This was during COVID too. I would go home and I would sit in the parking lot and just sit there because I didn't want to go into my apartment. I just would sit there. So, but that's how I got into that. And then as time went on, she would talk to me about my anger issues or things that was bothering me. And then she said, I don't know where I got the thing about the therapist, because it seemed like at the time everybody was going to a therapist. And I was like, all right, I'll try it. I don't have nothing to lose, So I did. And it was almost like a venting session. I don't think she gave me anything that I couldn't have figured out myself, but it felt good to unload and, realize, whatever.
In a non-judgmental space.
Yes. But even the podcast thing is almost a way of therapy for me. So, and, when I went through that, I reached out to everybody that, because it always comes up. Right, right. And I was like, hey, therapy, do some therapy. Therapy. That was the keyword, therapy. Hey, go, if you need the medication. And of course, I had the mental health issues that was in my family. Okay. So I talked to them and I saw where it helped and why people didn't want to take it. So, I try to relate my situation with them. It's like, if it's not working for you, don't stop. Just get something different. Right. Or get a different dosage. So, I promote that now. But I would like to not take drugs. So I would look for alternative, means. So 'cause I'm not a pill person. Gotcha. But
well, thank you for sharing that. And you weren't tricked. She did not trick you.
I would never have taken any drugs of that nature, except I had such bad back pain, and it came with it. But I would never, because some years ago they wanted to prescribe me Paxil. Okay. And I was like, all right, I'll take it, whatever. Then one of the guys said, that's for depression. Right. So I ain't depressed. I'm angry. So I didn't. And he said, yeah, I don't know if he said it's going to mess up your sex life or something.
Yes, it may cause.
But the other doctor was like, hey, it may delay your ejaculation or whatever. I was like, whoo.
Okay, on that note, we're going to take a break for a commercial.
All right, we're back.
You're so special.
It's someone just chuckle like.
But that was actually one of the benefits, though. So I mean, and so I don't have an issue with it. But I want people to know that it's okay to go out there and
be coerced.
Huh? Be cursed?
Coerced.
Coerced.
Into.
Yeah.
No, she did not trick you. She gave you a option for a problem that you were having. Just like if you had diabetes, she would give you an option on medications that you could take. And I think if people started to look at mental health in that genre, in that vein, more people would get treatment. How do you feel about that, Donna?
Going back to something that I said in the last show that we did, and I'm going to touch on this. Unfortunately, especially in the Black community, we have put so much stress on our men and boys that they are supposed to be Superman, super strong. You're not supposed to show your emotions. You're not supposed to cry. If you cry, what you crying for? You old punk.
Right.
So, we do a disservice to our men when we don't allow them to express the feelings that they're having. And a lot of times, and I don't think that we as women do it intentionally.
You do.
We tend to look to them to be the savior in every situation. And when they need to be poured into, some women look at that as being weak.
Right.
And then our men don't have a place to release that. So yeah, you are walking around angry all the time, because we have culturally said, be a man. Men are strong. They can handle everything, put everything on their back. Yet women are supposed to be so docile, so weak, everybody but Black women.
Right.
We supposed to just carry the weight of the world on our shoulders, and we supposed to suck it up and not feel any kind of way about it. It's just like, hey, suck it up, get it done. You know what I mean? Get them babies fed. And, meanwhile, we expect him to go outside and work for the man and, be disrespected. And, I don't know what it is to be a Black man in America. Right. But and something my husband used to say to me all the time, because I have a very strong personality, and he's very quiet and reserved.
What's his sign?
Libra.
Okay.
Libra. Very quiet, very reserved. He's not going to express how he really feels, because that's what he saw in his household from his dad.
Right.
And men just don't cry. They just don't complain. They just don't express how they feel. They just don't talk about it. Meanwhile, I'm all emotional. I want to talk about everything. Oh, you don't get it, and then that causes a disconnection. But when he said to me one day, you never leave space for me to express how I feel. Like, I have feelings too. I have things on my mind that I need to express, so as I go through my journey with mental health, I try to encourage him to just kind of take the first steps to say, okay, I am mad. If you want to see somebody, see somebody. And again, and I think that, most medications are derivative from plants, right? It's just a specific version of something that, they don't want you to know that you can practically heal yourself.
Right.
It's a plant out there for everything. Right. So I would say to my, to any man, but especially Black men, mental health is real. And it's like she said, taking a pill is like I have high blood pressure. I'm gonna take that pill and make sure that, I'm not dead from the silent killer.
Right.
So why would I not want to take a pill that is going, because you said yourself that when you took it, you felt a little freer.
Yes.
Right. You felt a little relaxed. Right. I know that feeling that you felt on the inside, and it is a feeling that you can't quite explain, but you feel your heart doing something, your stomach does something, like everything is just trying to make sense of what you're feeling, and it's a physical thing. Like, so there are natural ways to try to manage your mental, for me, that wasn't enough.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So the two together seems to be working.
Gotcha.
Okay.
Right. So again, you always have to find what works for you.
Right.
But would not say, because I don't like taking medications either. Right. That was the reason why I had the weight loss surgery, because I was a diabetic, and I can receive the shot from someone, but I can't give myself a shot.
Okay.
And the moment I got to the point that I had to call my husband, hey, can you come over here and help me with this shot? Or ask my grandson, hey, I remember giving my grandmother her insulin. I don't want that for my grandson. So I had to make the choice. I knew I wasn't going to be able to lose it on my own because I was the emotional eater, and we talked about that. I feel like in the back of my brain somewhere, I probably legitimately was trying to, just eat all of my emotions away and kill myself that way, just overeat. But so I chose to do that, right? So with doing that, you have to do what's best for you, but do not rule out medication. It's not the end all. It's not the end of the world if you do. And who cares? For real? Because some of the people, did you feel like maybe looking at you?
Me?
Secretly in the closet, they might be on something.
Well,
right. Yeah. Or should be.
But they're mental. Yeah. Everybody is always afraid of what that stigma looks like. Again, like we said, what goes in the house stays in the house. We don't want nobody to think we crazy. I don't want to, like you felt like you was duped. I told you what my doctor did. She was like, oh yeah, you ain't called that number. You called it, but you didn't follow up. I got something for you. I'm going to go ahead and my office will make the appointment for you.
So for me, it was a little different. I didn't care with what whoever thought about me. I didn't care. It was the fact that for me, it was like, I can do it myself. I don't need that. I know I can do it, and a man is supposed to be able to do this, because that's what you saw on TV,
Yeah.
That's what men around you said.
Yes. Even military guys too, put your big boy pants on. Go ahead and walk through that fire. But that's what we did.
Right.
And it was kind of, I don't know if I want to say it was ego or just whatever, but it was like, I know I can do it. I don't need to be at this particular level where I need medication. That's for people who don't have the mental abilities that I have, because I'm one of the X-Men. So.
Yeah, we could X that.
Yeah. But, I hear that, and I know that it is probably a lot of people like that. And I feel like in the beginning, I was like that. Like, I don't like taking pain medication. I don't like doing all of that kind of stuff. But, for people who would, maybe listening or who will hear this, if you know that at some point that you may not be able to be one of the X-Men and to be so strong that you can overcome everything on your own, do not rule out medication.
Right.
Because it can be helpful.
Absolutely.
Okay. So before we're going to go into managing stress, because this is the big part where most people don't know how to do that, or they fail at it.
Right. They
being me. And also building resilience in the face of adversity. So that's more or less the coping stuff. How do you plan on, how are you going to cope with things in the future? But before we get into that, Felonious, notorious one.
I'm not Kari.
Felonious, Flavius.
He keeps saying he's going to add something else to the name. Like every week you get another what is it? Adjective added to a name. One too. Oh yeah, Donna definitely. Yes. We definitely gonna give you next time you come back. You gonna have a name. Yeah, Psycho gives everybody a name, and one day we'll explain lamb chop.
Yeah,
it's not funny.
Yes, it is. Well, what did you have? You had a story?
It's okay. Keep going.
No. I want to. We want to break
We
that.
want to
In.
hear the story.
Yeah.
Bring that in here.
Yeah, we want to hear a story.
You want to hear my story?
Yes.
It has nothing to do with. So it's not relating to the mental health.
I
Gotcha.
bet you we can relate it.
So if you've been on internet, I don't know. You look at African internet.
Yes.
Instagram. So you don't know what has been going on about a man.
Oh yes.
Yes.
Well, that's related to mental health.
Okay, let's hear
Yes.
it. Let's
Yes,
hear
So
it.
what happened?
All right,
So-
I'll let her tell it.
So this man, his name is Baltasar
Baltasar.
from Equatorial Guinea,
Okay.
and I've seen he. So he had this leaked sex tape
Okay.
with 400 women.
400 plus
Women.
Yes.
Yes.
At the same time?
No, at the
No.
same time.
Yeah, I'm with you. Listen, Dawn, I'm with you. I'm like, how did that happen?
No, at the same time.
Like a
Oh,
carousel.
okay.
Yes. So he had unprotected sex with these women. It's not like they had any disease or anything, but
Okay.
They don't know yet.
But still,
well,
right.
right now, he's like the GOAT. Like, men respect him. It's like, oh my God. Like,
That is so gross. That is so gross. I'm
Oh, you can't see
sorry.
that's his thing.
Okay, stop that.
That's his thing.
'Cause now that image is burnt in my head.
So, let me see.
So,
All right, let me
so
give you the background on this, right?
oh yeah, because
Like
I need more info.
All right, so like she said, it was a guy who's in Equatorial Guinea. He's a
Financial crimes.
Is he
financial crimes,
a
something.
politician or something?
Yes, he's a politician.
he's a
Oh.
politician, right? So it came out that he had unprotected sex.
No, so he was being
Blackmail?
investigated about for
fraud.
crime,
Yeah.
fraud.
Okay.
So they seized his computer and stuff. So that's how
That's how they found out.
they found out.
So it was over 400 women, and these women were
Wives of
wives. Most of them were
his
married.
bosses, yes,
Yeah.
of the governor general,
The
whatever
attorney general?
yeah, attorney general that got of Guinea,
The pastor.
the pastor's wife,
Yeah.
the pastor's brother's wife, his uncle's wife, the attorney general's daughter.
Oh
It's
my
like
goodness!
everybody. So it says
He's a sex addict.
and he was good too.
Okay, Felonious, how do you know?
I've seen the videos.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
You mean send it to you?
No, I do not. I do not.
Like everybody has seen the videos. Like it's everywhere. So it's like
Yeah.
so,
So
men
I think 200 and some odd of the women were married or
all of
you know.
like in the picture, like a picture with like 12 people, 16 people thereabout. He already had sex with like out of 8 women in that picture, he had sex with 6 already in the picture.
So one of the
Holy
just to throw that in there.
So he was taking videos.
Yeah, but then it was consensual.
Yeah, they
the
knew
women
about
they
it.
saw because they saw him doing the video. In all the videos, you see them.
they were smiling in front of the camera.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, you saw the videos.
Yeah.
I'm so
You've been going too far. This
I
is
got
our
all the
African thing.
videos.
Hey, stay, be American, stay your lane.
Look, hey, listen. But go ahead with your.
Oh, it says reports that Baltasar was caught on tape engaging in sexual activities with multiple women, including his brother's wife, cousin,
What?
and the sister. Yeah, and I think the cousin's wife was pregnant. There's one pregnant lady. I'm like, who does that? Like seriously.
I
But
mean,
she-
when they
does
have
that?
sex when they're pregnant, but
yeah, but it's
not outside. Okay,
Yeah.
nothing.
Oh, it was some
can't-
outside?
Yeah, you're
No,
right.
it was about size.
I got you.
he was
I
born
got
in
you.
your year. Funny, but he has more strength than you.
Shit. Hey, look, I saw the videos. I'm not impressed.
Whatever.
It's a lie.
Whatever.
I
It's
wasn't
a lie.
impressed.
It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. So it's like they've given him like men. Even men have respected him. They call him the GOAT. They call him
Yeah,
like,
the goat. Yeah,
yeah,
because he
it
has
is
so
the-
many women.
Only a
And
man
his
would think
perform-
that
he was
that's okay.
performing.
That performer was
He was
not.
performing. He
I
was
s-
performing. Go sleep.
I saw
He took them different scenarios, different scenes. Did you see the one by the river?
Okay,
Alright,
I'm
so-
sorry.
so here's the thing. Let me
I can't
put
be
it up.
okay with this.
So the guy opposite with 400 women, right? They're in different places, hotels, outside, the car,
Yeah,
the
everywhere.
woods, the whatever. So
Stream,
and so the
everywhere.
thing is, and this is where I know where the guys was like, oh, he's the greatest because and the women are decent looking, So there's no, he didn't, no
Yeah,
Does
they
that
had
matter?
the
Yes.
divas.
For a
So,
guy?
but then my take is, as a married woman, if I was to have sex with somebody else, why would I let him take videos of me?
Right.
But they said, oh well,
Or did they get something out the deal? Like,
Right.
Yeah, they did. They
I'm
got
trying
that D.
out.
and it was good too. It looked good.
I can't stand you right now.
Yes. I say that on a consistent basis.
But like, I'm trying. Like, what would make me as a woman sleep with my husband's brother? Like, are
Right.
you buying us a house that is my
Now,
husband
let me
and
tell
That's
you.
what I'm saying. That's what it must be really
No, no,
good.
no, no. In
That's
his-
what I
in-
feel.
in his
And your cousin.
in his
and
defense-
That's why I feel he was really
No,
good. So
no, no, no.
everybody had to have it because the women
Are
were
telling
they were
people?
literally looking in the videos, smiling. He was so it wasn't like he was
So wait a
eating.
minute. Wait a minute.
Wasn't
He
it-
called
wasn't
them.
it-
They were clients. Okay, he called them clients because he wasn't the only ones that they were actually getting serviced by. Okay, he was the one who had the tapes. So it wasn't just him like saying, I got this one, this one, this one, this one. These women were being serviced by different people.
None of that makes it better.
No, I'm not saying it
No,
makes it
what
better.
did you hear that there
No,
was
what?
seven?
Trust me, I know these things.
No,
I got
you don't know
I
these
got the
things.
scoops.
You don't know
So
these things.
when you say
They are
sir-
all married women. A lot of chunk of them. A lot of them were married women.
Majority of them were married.
Yes,
but they were
married
women.
to all these women are
Influential people.
Yes,
Yeah.
So
but
it's
they,
not like
but it's like, all right. So if you have a club, and I'm gonna tell you this by my own experience, right?
Mm-hmm.
So like when you're in the military, and you have a whole bunch of military people, and everybody's different ranks, whatever, and some people go out, they get deployed overseas or whatever. Those same women will go to, because we knew every time we knew a unit that was forward detached, because the base club would fill up. And it'll be all the wives and whatever. So while their husbands was away or significant others, they were in the clubs, and that's where a lot of the guys would go in there, and that's where they would get their little,
Groove on.
That groove on.
so he was a helper.
Yeah, he was a helper.
No, he was not a helper. I feel like this is a sex addiction. I'm sorry.
It is. So okay, so that's how we're going to relate that to mental health, because those are one of the things that somebody who has mental health issues, how they cope, how it manifests.
But how can I wonder how? And his wife, pretty woman, they have 6 children. So I'm like, okay, yeah, I'm not surprised for somebody with that kind of high sex drive,
Right.
Because
It's not like it happened like every day. This was
I don't know.
No, I'm telling you, it was over a period of time. So there's no way you can have sex with 400 women.
Because
Like,
you cannot does
No,
not
I'm just
mean
saying,
somebody else cannot. Because you
course-
cannot does not mean somebody else cannot. So stop making him.
I wouldn't.
Well,
first of all,
that's you.
I'm an upstanding man.
Whatever.
Okay.
I don't believe in premarital sex. So
What?
so
Let me scoot over here for the lightning come and strike you for that big old lie.
but over the course of this was some time. But again, these were women who
Well,
they were in
how
a
can
circle.
some people have not even. Have you even slept with up to like 30 women in your lifetime? No.
I
No.
I take the
So imagine
Complete
some
the fifth.
400 is what you have on tape. So imagine the
Ones that he doesn't have on
So
tape.
imagine in his lifetime, 54 years, and
that's reckless. Wait,
that
let
right?
me tell you.
Yeah, it
so
is
not to
reckless.
go to a guy, to the guys that's praising him, and I'm gonna tell you this is how what they do. So in the videos, they try to emulate him, and he has a certain thing that he does.
yeah, put his hand on his nipple.
Yeah, he does that, and that's what they started doing. I'm like, for me, I'm like, that's whatever.
No, just to show. No, it's just to show who they're referring to. It's just.
You don't know. You're not a man.
Sit down. You're not.
Didn't we just
you're
have
not
this
African.
discussion?
You're
Okay,
not Nigerian.
so-
you're not African. So.
Is okay. So he does this thing. So that means other men are trying to be him or emulate
If you
him.
touch me,
Yeah.
So does that mean with this reckless behavior that he's having,
So see
he's
them,
getting other
see them-
people to
now they're liking him to Pharaoh.
Yeah.
they're liking him to a pharaoh. Okay. So my question is he irresponsible in that other people are going to try to emulate him and sleep with all these
So
women?
first, let's be real. There are men out here. This is not new. by any means.
Let's be real. There's some women after seeing those videos that want to go.
That is true, but that's not new. That is not new. That's been happening probably since the beginning of time.
Correct.
The only difference is he has the tapes.
Mm-hmm.
I know,
And
I know people that's had that behavior. The only difference is whether you've had the access to that many, because that's a job in itself, is having access to different women. But if you're getting women and they're in a circle where they're getting passed around, right, or service or whatever, it's easy to have that access. You know, people don't want to talk about stuff that seems strange or they don't think it could happen, but there's a lot of stuff that happens behind closed doors that nobody ever, would think could happen, but it does. I was not shocked by it. I would never try to, take on that behavior.
I'm not shocked. I'm
Lies
grossed
from
out.
the pit of hell.
I'm grossed out.
You lie.
Okay, this is a good time to take a break.
Okay, we'll come back in a second. Okay, so but here's the thing: he was arrested for whatever crimes, and on top of that, he's getting charged for what was it? Public health, something that had to do with public health.
Yeah, that is a public health issue.
Absolutely. 400 women, unprotected sex. Those women lay with their husbands.
Right.
They get pregnant. You don't know. HIV and AIDS and some diseases don't show up right away.
Which is prevalent over there as well.
Oh, and clearly he has some issues because that's an addiction. He sounds like he has an addiction. And the women, I'm quite kind of questioning, like, why would you even want to be on tape, especially if you're married?
Right.
Why would you put your family, like, you would never think, like, sometimes when you do these things, you think that these things, like you just said, to stay behind closed doors, and then somebody do something stupid. Now you all up on the internet, your children, your families, your jobs, like, your brothers.
That's over.
But people do a lot of things that they don't think about the consequences after the fact.
That's true.
So with him, he's being charged with an offense against public health. If they test him and he's found to have an STD, he's gonna have that hanging over his head as well.
With the other charges.
Yes. So
So now 400 plus. This could easily be 1,000 people that need to go out and get tested.
Yes, because again, like I said, though he's not the only one that these women have.
We don't know that. They never said that.
You don't have the information. I do.
Well, at least the married ones, could be having sex with their husbands. So at least know that they're having sex.
Being passed around. No.
Yeah, and if you're having, listen, for real, from my perspective, at the end of the day,
are you looking at your sex tapes?
To sleep with your husband's brother, you willing to sleep with anybody.
Right.
That's just how I look at it.
Oh, I don't want to see that. You're disgusting. I
know dang on well you better not have that thing.
Yeah, he got it up. You know he does. Like,
he is trifling. He got the shirt all pulled up.
Yeah, that should be the office.
He didn't take his pants down. He don't have no.
Listen, he don't have time to take his pants down. He got 400. He got 300 some odd women waiting. He ain't got time.
Pants not even down like
that. Yeah, he ain't got time for all of that. No, he ain't got time for all that. He got too many women to get to.
Yeah,
one of the women
committed suicide.
Oh, really?
Oh my God!
You didn't have that information?
No.
Okay, then. Thank you. Okay.
That's what I'm saying.
Because her video went viral. She actually committed suicide. I got that video too.
Of her committing suicide?
Not of her committing suicide, but at her, what do you call them things? Her funeral or viewing or whatever. And but anyway, I digress. But
is that a real thing?
Yeah.
I don't trust.
Yes.
Oh my God.
I got the goods. I'm telling you. You don't have no goods that I can't get.
That is so sad. That is just making my heart hurt.
Because their faces, everything was literally there. They were smiling at the camera all the time. So there's no, did he try to?
Oh my God. She's so pretty and so young.
Oh.
Yeah. So, it's the thing is that's it's a craziness, but what I'm saying is it's not
uncommon.
The numbers may not have been as large, but some people, even porn stars have thousands.
Yeah.
How many did Wilt Chamberlain have?
Oh yeah, he said he had a ridiculous amount of women. He did.
You know, and like I said, if you have the ability or the access to do it, it's going to be done. You don't need to have somebody say, "Well, I saw that and I want him." In some places, some circles, it's easy. Anybody can get into a circle where they have free sex, and it's not, and it goes back to the Roman days too.
Yeah.
You know, shout out to HBO for the television series Rome. Check it out.
The level of specialness that you are.
No, it is good. I'm gonna give it to you because I got it on DVD.
Okay.
You'll like it.
I don't even know where my DVD player is. I ain't even gonna lie.
So it's like almost Spartacus like.
Okay.
Yeah. But anyway, yes. But thank you for that information. Over there, just eyes all in the phone, looking at the videos.
You are so wrong. You are so wrong. I'm sorry. I just can't. I can't. I don't want to. And it's like,
they're like, huh?
Yeah, that
I can't. Yeah.
Like, I'm just seeing her face in my head, and that makes me very sad because, and it's very relatable to mental health because whatever it was, I mean, the embarrassment, the shame that she must have felt, what she put on her family,
right?
Again, sometimes when people make decisions to do things when they're not thinking things out, you know, and who could she really talk to about that?
The other
like
399.
Like, what are you doing? Like, what is? I mean, I feel like, are you really like? Are they really consenting?
Yes.
What are you saying? What are you saying off camera though to get them in front of camera?
Let me tell you, it doesn't take much. It doesn't.
Yeah, that's just disturbing to me.
All of them didn't know each other. They didn't know all of,
literally,
like if you go to an office, right, and you have let's say a government office, and you have everybody who's working every day with each other, whatever, I guarantee you within that office, there's a circle that goes around where people are doing certain things that, that we wouldn't know. I guarantee that.
They say out of 8 women in the office, he slept with 6. So
that's it.
Yeah.
What you mean? That's what you get on my nerves.
They had 8 women. That's half. More than half.
Yeah, more than half. You get on my nerves.
So how much is that? I'm working for you because I just love working for you and I find you attractive and I want to have sex with you. Or how much is it that I feel like I have to have sex with you to keep my job?
Right.
Well, how about this? When you have a society or culture where, you can't do certain things. You don't have that freedom to explore. You don't have that freedom to, initiate sex. So when you get into those situations and you have, it's like anybody, when you see something that's not accessible to you normally and you have the opportunity to access it, it gets accessed.
Yeah, but a lot of times too, like she said, in some situations, is especially if the man over the woman is saying, in order to keep your job, you have to have sex with me. And if she's the sole provider in that situation, what is she gonna do?
Let me tell you, you can look on those videos.
They didn't look like
they had no apprehensions whatsoever, and they were actually motivated.
But you know what? Like, okay, I'm getting ready to tell you a story.
Yeah, tell us a story. Yes, how you got or you was so fresh.
You know what?
Right. So this is real. My sister, especially my sister Christine, she would attest to this because this is a true story. I was living in Baltimore. I was in my 20s. I didn't have a job, so a friend of mine who at that time managed girls, strippers or whatever, came to me and was like, oh, he was a photographer too and took some pictures. So he had said people had seen some pictures and they had asked me if I would dance and, this, that, and the other. So that said, in my mind, I don't have a job. I need to try. It was almost Christmas time. The rent was due. I had to figure it out. So I'm young. I can take enough drinks. I can do it. So I swear for God, I couldn't make this shit up. So he calls me and he says, yeah, I have this thing going on in New Jersey, right? So it's like 3 or 4 of us. So we all pile up in this car. He don't have no damn heat. It's cold as hell outside. We in the back seat and we're all jumbled up, mumbled up all together, trying to stay warm. Fast forward, we get to the little place. When we walk in there, my first mind was, oh, this is some old suspect type thing, right? This is not what he sold it to be. So you can tell right then and there that the expectations for the women, the girls, the strippers, whatever you want to call us, walking through the door, that it was going to be more than just dancing on the pole. It wasn't even set up for
the pole,
dancing and, all of that. So I say that to say that I found myself in a position where I was doing things in my mind at the moment that I needed to do to pay the bill. And the expectation when I walked in the door anyway is that was going to be done. Right. But then this is how the Lord moves. I was so, how, like, I don't know if you've ever been a drinker or if you drink, like sometimes you drink and you try to get drunk, but you just can't get drunk. Like no matter how much you kick back, you just can't get drunk.
Nope.
Yeah, I get drunk.
I was throwing them things back. And I walked past the mirror. They had like this wall with this long ass mirror. And I walked past the mirror and I kind of glanced over and I saw somebody, but I didn't recognize that somebody was me.
Really?
Like I kind of looked and I was just like, wait a minute, who is that? And then I looked in the mirror again and I was like, girl, what in the... And right in that moment, I felt, this ain't the place for you. This ain't the thing for you. Like, as a woman, I'm not going to apologize. I've had a hard life, like from a child. So, and I feel like I said this in the last episode, like, sometimes when you are a kid of parents who are not around and one is on drugs, one clean across the country, and you're homeless, you find yourself doing things that you have to do to make sure that you can survive, right? So I'm not going to apologize for that part of my life because doing that has helped shape me to the person that I am. But in that moment, my mental was really jacked up that when I looked in that mirror, I saw what they were expecting, right? That messed with me. So when I see that, when you just showed me that young lady, I was on my way on that path. Like, who are you? Like, what are you doing? Like, is this going to be what you do? And then the crazy thing, as we froze our asses off going back, you got to give dude the money for the gas. You know what I mean? Like, so you did all of these things and then you walk away with damn near less than what you should have made.
Right.
I got in the house and I just cried. I cried. I felt like I had defiled myself. I defiled the temple that God gave me. These people who were there did not look at any of us with any kind of respect because you already knew what the party was before we even got there.
Right.
I felt tricked and betrayed by this person who was supposedly looking out for us, but who did not necessarily tell us what the real setup was. Right. So, my mental was jacked up, but then God turned that situation around because the moment that I saw myself in the mirror, I said in my head to God, if once you get me up out of here, I promise I'm never coming back. I'm never doing this again. I'm never, whatever. The next day I got a call from a company that my sister was working at, and they were looking for a receptionist. So I was able to get a job.
Right.
But those things, they play on your mental. Even now, just thinking about that, like, girl. But hey, it is what it is.
And I don't honestly think that people realize the situations that women are in sometimes, and are willing to judge, which, we all have glass houses, things that we have to do. You know what?
Absolutely.
You say glass houses.
Oh, jeez. Oh, my gosh. Oh, my gosh.
Yeah.
Nobody was talking about you.
Listen.
Yeah.
And we're in glass houses.
But it does, like, in how you described it, it does relate to mental health as well, because from your past experiences before that kind of guided you to where you found yourself. And I'm sure that experience changed future, decisions or relationships and stuff like that.
Right.
Right. Because listen, okay, so I'm going to take it a step deeper than that. Right. So remember I mentioned that my dad was on drugs, right?
Mm-hmm.
Stan.
So when you have a parent that's on drugs, they're absent.
Oh, wow.
So then you have other adults around you who should have been protecting you, but they don't.
Oh,
Right.
yes.
Right.
So then at a young age, you learn these sexual habits that at that age you shouldn't even be thinking about.
Right. Right.
Right? Because of things that were done to you.
Mm-hmm.
So then as you grow, that becomes somewhat of the fabric of who you are.
Yeah.
Because now these are the things that people or those people around you who are supposed to be protecting you, but are doing things to you. And then when you become an adult, it's just that, okay, for me, when I'm talking to y'all, I'm talking to me.
Right.
Because I didn't have that male figure there to protect me. And because I had to pretty much raise myself, sex was a way for me to feel wanted, even if it didn't feel good, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes absolute sense.
And sad to say, I've heard this story more than enough times.
Yeah.
I have.
Because we don't protect our girls. We just don't
we don't.
Sometimes,
We don't. And that's a mental. I remember I was when I met my husband through my sister's husband, because they grew up together, they went to school. And every time that joker saw me, I was with a different cat. Like, listen, I'm young, like I'm in my 20s. I'm living my life. I'm taking care of myself. Like, I'm single. Single people do what single people do.
Right.
Right. But if and I'm moving like a man would. Right?
Oh, you breaking
like
up.
A man would move. Oh, you just a horse. Nobody would say nothing. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I break up? Am I back?
Yeah, you're back.
Okay. Sorry about that. If I was a man and I was moving the way that I was moving, nobody would say anything.
Nothing.
But because I'm single and I got 2, 3, 10 boyfriends, now I'm, just loose and I'm just a whore and I'm just this and I'm just that. Some of it may have been true at the time. I ain't ashamed about anything that I've done because it's made me who I am today. If I can go back in time, I wish that I had the type of parents who did the things that normal parents do, but that wasn't the cards that we were dealt with, right?
Right.
So my husband had someone to come to him and be like, yeah, you sure you want to marry her?
Really?
At all. Yes, that's a true story.
Wow.
Yes. Because, like, we ran and kind of like, like, you go to the clubs, you see the same people,
Right, right.
everybody kind of like in the same little thing. They know each other. Some of them know each other. Like, I ain't know when I met you that you knew such and such. And even if I did, I'm single. I ain't got nobody. Like, I do what I want, when I want, how I want, and to whom I want to do it with.
Yeah. And if you're in Baltimore is small.
Yeah.
I never had that problem. They were like, who's that?
But yeah, it was just like, you sure you want to marry her because she is so promiscuous. She is so, out there. I'm not the cookie cutter type of, I guess, girlfriend.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And that I ain't gonna lie to y'all, that messed me up.
Mm-hmm.
That messed me up.
It would.
It did. It had me. I questioned my self-esteem, and then that was the moment that I started to turn to be something and someone that I am not.
Did you find yourself trying to please him or be a different kind of person to please him?
It wasn't pleasing him, because clearly he married me, so he didn't give a damn about none of that, right? So, like, clearly he walked down the aisle, he said, I do. I'm sure probably in the back of his mind, he probably did have some questions or hesitations, but my thing was, listen, on the flip side of that card, how many bodies you done laid down?
Right, right.
Don't judge me. And even if you don't have as many as I do, still don't judge me.
Right.
What I did, what I had to do to make my ends meet or to survive or whatever it was, that does not concern you because you're the here and now. You're not back there.
Mm-hmm.
So, but I became what I thought that my mom, what people think like a wife is supposed to be.
Okay.
Like, make the nice homes, cook the food, wash the clothes, take care of the kids, and suppress who,
be quiet.
Suppress who I really am on the inside, like feeling like I just can't be free and wild the way that I am. And that's not like talking about the sex thing. That's just talking about who I am, the fabric of who I really am.
Mm-hmm. The personality.
I felt like that I had to change that because of the view of men and how they perceive me to be.
Mm-hmm.
And that's hard mentally. Again, the lack of abandonment drew me to want to be around somebody.
Right.
This is the longest since me and my husband has been separated that I have ever been on my own, like with no male companion, with no boyfriend, and finding out who I am. And I feel like it is the best time of my life. Do I get a little lonely every now and then? Absolutely. Like, I haven't been touched by another human being in 3 years, and I love it.
Wow.
3.
Listen, it's time to take a break, and we'll be right back.
So this is a handful,
right?
Right. We'll touch on future episodes. We'll kind of break it up. But thank you for that's a good personal insight. You opened yourself up a lot. So definitely appreciate that.
We appreciate it. Yes, definitely appreciate it.
Appreciate Felonious opening up with her freak self.
You know what? I can't with you. I'm just, that story disturbed me. Y'all thought it was funny, but I found it very disturbing.
I'm still tripping on it because I thought when you said 400, I was like, at the same time.
I was with you.
Now, that would have been the video I wanted to see because I wanted to see how all 400 was getting service at the same time.
It would have been an assembly line.
Well, it sounded like he had one anyway.
Yeah, but I swear for God,
this was over a period of time. But
you know what? Even if he had one woman a day, that's still like 400 women.
Yes.
But, believe me, there's people out there that's like that. Maybe not on the 400 level, but once you get past, like for me, mine is like 3. But once you get, once you get past the number 3 level, you got problems. So
Like you do.
3, right.
so
He's probably moving towards 90. Well, at least it's not 400. So yeah.
Right.
yeah.
You had your fair share. So.
Yeah. Ooh,
You.
I'm a saint.
Yeah, right.
So anyway, thank you guys for tuning in.
Yes.
And we look forward to the next episode. We do have something coming up in the future. We have the suicide prevention and some other fun topics. We're not going to make everything so serious.
Right,
We got to you got to take care of your mental health by acting out sometimes.
Shenanigans, foolishness, and nonsense.
Absolutely.
And did you say we're having something this weekend?
Yes. So, I might postpone that because we still got 7 people.
As always.
And then,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
and I have to make contact. But we do have upcoming. We have a wine and pasta social with a podcast attached. So that's going to be coming up sometime soon. And we do need a word of the day.
Self-esteem.
Self-esteem.
That's
Okay.
technically 2 words. But
Sex tape.
Yeah, actually.
400.
400. That's going to
Okay,
be it.
so
400.
the word of the day is 400.
400. Yes. Yes.
So so if you guys, the word of the day again, we're in the middle of. We're not in the middle. We're in the beginning.
No,
of
we're in the
November.
beginning of the month.
Okay.
Yeah.
Last couple of days made it seem like forever.
Facts.
So,
This whole election cycle made it seem like forever.
yeah. But anyway, that's the word of the day. And if you call in and you get the word of the day, not call in because nobody's going to answer, but you email us at hottopicspodcast@gmail.com. And that's what's it?
He doesn't even have to
P-I-X. Hot, huh?
Oh, you are struggling today.
Hot
He
Topics.
couldn't even pronounce Penelope. So.
Penelope, see?
And he brought the name.
Penelope Plant Killer. Yeah, we'll give you a free pizza at
Pizza City.
Pizza City.
Still doesn't know.
As long as it's under $4.
You know what? Thank you, family.
Thank you.
Thank you, family, for listening to the latest episode of Hot Topics. As usual, listen, like, share, subscribe. Ta.
I represent, this is what I do. I represent, this is what I do.